From her creative studio high in the hills above Hollywood, California, it's Ms. Meliz on 10 Minutes in Tinseltown.
Welcome to 10 Minutes in Tinseltown with Ms. Meliz. I'm Melissa Reyes, and today I'm happy to welcome Venus Leone. Hey there, girlfriend.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you? I'm cheating here with this microphone.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I am debuting my red microphone cover today. It matches my red headphones, and
I can see. I love it.
You are an incredible person. I had the just such amazing luck in that I got to have lunch with you for 2 or 3 days in a row this summer. I got to know you just on the fly, and it was really cool because you are you're so talented, and you've had so many different experiences that you've brought to the surface, and you have such great energy. And I really love your positive outlook on life. And you have a very gentle soul and a big, warm heart. And I'm so happy to have you here to tell me about what you're currently working on and what you have in mind for the future. So, without further
ado, you just got me all blushing like your microphone. I'm sorry.
I have different colors. So my darling, what are you working on right now? You've got your choreographer in the background there, and you've just ran in to come on 10 Minutes in Tinseltown. So what is your current project?
My current projects, plural. Actually, the exciting thing that I want to share with you is something totally different from everybody else, for once, which is I'm doing a voiceover for a project that my friend is doing, and I totally forgot to mention it. My roommate is a crazy animation person. Like, she does animation from and cartoons and stop motion pictures and stuff like that. And she's really talented, and she works her butt off in her room. And so we are constantly talking about new ideas, and for a year she's been living here. I've been telling her about God and the universe and how things, like studies of science and this and that, and she came up with a really cool alien character and inspired by me, so I'm going to be doing the voice, and I'm actually I'm translating it into a language that doesn't exist, so I'm inventing an alien language. Which is
so 7 languages isn't enough for you. You have to have another language that you're inventing.
Yeah, well, I'm helping myself with the 7 languages to invent one, but it's kind of like a cool thing I'm really excited about, because when you look at those movies like Star Trek or stuff like that, they actually have linguists that are professional linguists making those languages, and I'm a linguist I'm like a street linguist. I learned those languages. I did study them, but I don't have a doctorate degree in languages. But it's really exciting, and I already gave her a little cut of something that I created, and she's sending it around. And I can't wait. Like, we're shooting November 10th. I'm going to do the sound and everything. So I'm doing that. That's going to be a really cool project. And then I'm also working on my new album, obviously. And I'm working on new music for some, I had like this licensing company that is interested in my music to put on movie, film, and TV. And so that's where I'm putting my focus on for my music. So it's going to be also exciting because I'm scoring also this project with my roommate. So it's a lot of covering here for me to present my craft. So that's the exciting thing that I'm doing right now. And then I'm working on a webisode for somebody else. I'm doing sound on that, and I'm booming. And I messed up my knees, and here I am like working out like crazy to kind of like keep them strong but still be able to work on my stuff. And I got back to dancing this year, so that's why I'm kind of like working hard on everything. So there's a lot going on. 2014 is not over yet.
That's for sure. You've gotten a lot accomplished this year, huh? So,
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
No, in addition to all the things you just mentioned, dancing, singing, voiceover work, creating a new language, you also work as a sound engineer, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like as the webisode, which is actually funny because right now my computer is actually downloading 600 megabyte of files that my friend in Florida sent me to actually mix a song. And I met him 7 years ago, and I was like the featured model on his video, and we've been in touch ever since. And now he's been bothered about other people that just don't come through and didn't work out. And I was like, just send me the track. I'll just hook you up for $50. And here he is sending me 600 megabyte. I'm like, 600 megabyte, but yeah. So I'm doing that. I'm mastering. I'm doing production work.
So this is my 14th episode, and I'm really happy. Yeah, and so we're gonna thank you. It's going really well. But this is going to be our first. This is going to be the first episode where I showcase 10 minutes tales from what was it called? Tales from Tinseltown. That's what we're going to call this episode. This is going to be my first special of Tales from Tinseltown. Okay, Tinseltown Tales. That's it. So because I have my first honest to goodness entertainer on my show tonight. I'm so happy because Venus
films. I'm doing a lot of stuff on the sound engineering side, and that's also like part of what I'm doing with this project with my roommate. It covers a little bit of everything that I'm doing sound-wise and engineering and mixing and voiceover and acting, and it's a little bit of everything in one little short.
You're crazy busy.
Crazy
busy girlfriend. But I love it. And have you been doing any modeling? Because I've been seeing, it seems like new pictures that you're putting up, or just always putting stuff up.
Well, I've always modeled since I was little, so a lot of stuff is like either, there is this famous TBT, hashtag TBT, Throwback Thursday. So on Throwback Thursdays, I throw a lot of back. With many different, like booty and back. It was funny. Yesterday somebody wanted me to come model, and I was on the way to church, so I didn't get the information. I ended up going to church instead of going for a photo shoot. But I'm kind of getting back to that. Like, I went to school for 3 years, so school was priority. I kind of let my manager go because I didn't really have time for auditioning and stuff. So now I'm coming back, like dancing and all that stuff is coming back. But it's really exciting me that I'm catching on. Like, people are referring me as a sound engineer, which is really what is making me happy as a woman in the field. Like that people are actually letting me know that they love my work and what I do and stuff as a sound engineer. So I love that part.
Well, you have a lot of skills, and but I think is that what you're most passionate about? Would you say? What are you most passionate about?
Well, to tell you the truth, I started in ballet. I started at 4 years old. I started ballet, and I never stopped. We started ballet. So my passion has always been dance and music. Music and dance, they're married with each other. It's like there is no dance without music, and music without interpretation. The art that comes with it, is the dance. So I'm always married to the two. But unfortunately, when I was 17, I had a knee injury, and that set me back for 2 years.
To get more of the interview with Venus Leone, check out my YouTube channel or visit me at MsMeliz.com.
Melissa Reyes is a life coach, a blogger, author, and mother, and now the host of 10 Minutes in Tinseltown with Ms. Meliz.
And when I was 12, I was told that I was too exotic to become a ballerina. Like, I looked too black. Let's just call it what it is. Because I was in Switzerland, so
like Flashdance, right?
yeah, it was kind of like that. I was too street. No, because it's like I was in Switzerland, so I was the only one in the whole room that looked different. So I stand out, and they kind of sold it to me that I look different, I stand out, so it's kind of hard to put that out there as a ballerina because it's a small market already. So they kind of tried to kill my dream. But so now I realize that all these difficulties are like making me become a better artist because I can motivate other people to just like keep it moving. You know, my knees just messed up a month ago. I was on the way to set. I was early. I'm at the beach. I've been dancing, doing so much. Nothing happens. And I'm at the beach just like, you know, having a good time. And then my knees give up on me. And in that moment, you know, I could feel that same pain as I felt 16 years ago. So I know what it is. And for some reason, I just like in prayer and in, you know, in just like working out and rehabbing myself, is like I'm back at walking again. I'm like, I can tell like I need to get something done surgically for sure. But, you know, it's just like the motivation of like getting up and just doing it and just trying to figure out what else you can do. And if this doesn't work, then let's do this. And just like, you know, the life is art, you know, every day we just have to figure out how we're going to create this thing.
Well, I'm really glad you said that. Life is art. Every day we have to figure out how we're going to create it. So you have a sense of balance. You have a sense of purpose, and you pray and you go to church. And is that how you manage to do all of this? By centering yourself? What is it that you do for self-care?
I think that a spiritual, how to say, like a spiritual healing, a spiritual awareness is very important for any artist, because there is the artist that is a happy person, you know, and just has the talent. And then there is the artist that, like me, like my art is fed from my passion and difficulties in life. That's where my art comes from. So instead of reaching to drugs, I reach to music. Instead of reaching to alcohol, I reach to dance. You know, like when I'm confused and I don't know where to go, I just, you know, go into that place and just like, that's my meditation. So I think that when there was no faith, there was music. And then music brought me back into my faith, because I grew up Catholic, so there was like always the God talk. But I think that art kind of like brings me the balance of finding my faith and my purpose, you know, a little bit away from religion. I'm not really a religious person. I'm more of like, I have to understand everything. I'm like a scientist of life, so I need to understand why and where and which way we're going to go and why do we go this way and what's the purpose for this. So it took a lot of research and soul searched for me to get to the point where it's like I feel like a free spirit, and I understand somehow the ways of a creator, you know, and which we call God. But yeah, so it's like I think that everyone has to find a way to center themselves and kind of see a focus, a future, you know, to be able to find a way of meditation. And for me, it's just like reach back to what was taught to me in a prayer and stuff like that. When I don't know which way to go, then it's prayer and music and dance, that kind of like those three. My Father, Son, Holy Ghost, my dance, music, and God.
So you're spiritual more than religious. And, you know, so like I have I don't want to say voices like crazy voices or anything, but like the little voice inside that you listen to And, now I kind of identify it more as my heart. I listen to my heart, and
Hmm.
I know if I'm doing the right things or what's right for me. So what does your heart tell you, as far as where you're going to be going with all of your art and all of your expertise?
I have to go backwards to tell you about the future. When I
Okay,
was
let's go back.
six, when I was six, we were looking for Santa Claus. I remember it was Christmas. We were like at a friend's house and we were looking for Santa Claus that just passed by and they're like, look, look, look. And I look up to the sky and I said, someday I'm going to live in LA. I'm 6 years old. Nobody believed me.
Wow.
Um, when I
I
was
didn't even know
18,
what LA was.
I don't know. I've always had this passion about Los Angeles. I don't know what it is, but I've always like it's not an American thing. It's not America, America. It was always like LA has always attracted me somehow spiritually. I don't know what it is, and I've always had this connection to like I somehow I understood that LA is very artistic, and that's where I belong for some odd reason. So for me, it's just more like I would like to leave. I guess I would like to leave a legacy behind. It would be nice to, like, that song, like, there's not going to be any monuments written about, like, built for me or, like, streets named after me.
Right.
I would love to have a street named after me, okay?
Yeah.
But because
Yeah.
that
You
means that you left
smart.
something good behind. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you get an award? Because you made some good music that people listen to. But why do you win an Oscar? Because you've impressed people with your talents and they actually like support you. And so for me, it's just like, I would like to leave. So like tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. We have an end. I don't have to do
Right.
anything but die, So I hope that the day that I die, I will leave something behind that people can take with them. At least 3 people in the world could be like, Venus. Without Venus, I don't know where I would be.
Oh, you want to make an impact and just be
Yeah,
remembered. What do you want to be remembered for?
I guess
Who you are, what you stand for? What do you stand for?
love. Venus stands for love, and empowerment and women and without love there is no creation and you have to let anger go and you have to like I'm a human. I am angry, I'm frustrated, but what do you do with it? And I think that we choose with what we do. Like I chose to be an artist. I chose this
Hmm.
way, this path, and to be an artist for me, what I saw as artists was people that when I was in difficulties, I looked at their art, at their pain that they expressed with the art, and it made me understand certain things. I'm a child of Michael Jackson. As much as he was in the public as like, maybe he did this, maybe he did that, his music raised me. His music made me believe that I'm the future. His music made me believe that I have an impact in this world. And even no matter what, I have to do the best I can to put out there and create something new and help evolve, and I think that I would like to have somebody feel the same way, like someday that they'll feel like, I helped them evolve, I helped them see something in their life that they realize that has purpose and, you know, the work of an artist, like
I
bring awareness.
I do know. I do know. And it is so refreshing, and that's why I enjoyed meeting you so much, because you are someone who knows your purpose. You really want to leave that legacy, and I admire you for that. And so um,
Thank you.
tell me a Hollywood tale. Tell me your Hollywood tale. What finally brought you, the 6-year-old inside, but to Los Angeles?
Okay, my Hollywood tale, let's try to keep it short, right? Um,
Okay.
January 6, 2004, I went to the movies with my friend Josie, and we went to watch Honey, and we were both dancers, like she was dancing in the dance school, and we were doing a lot of stuff together. And we went to watch this movie, and then we're like, she's like, I want to go to New York. And I'm like, let's just go. Let's just book a flight. I mean, I was working, you know, I was fine. So I'm like, let's just go. So 1, 2, 3, we book a plane ticket, and we go to New York, and we go to the Broadway Dance Center, because he was teaching there.
Wow.
The Broadway Dance Center in New York, and that's where it starts. We went there. We were feeling like we were walking into fame, you know, like we're like holding each other's hands. We're crying. We're like, oh my God. We walk in and we see all these beautiful dancers and jazz and this. And so we took every day at least 3 classes. We took ballet. We took jazz funk. We took hip hop. We were there with Jermaine. And like, yeah. And then I did the same thing. I think it was like September after that I came to LA, and then I made a decision that I really love LA. I'm going to come to LA. I've said always that I want to come to LA. My first boyfriend broke up with me and said, what if in 10 years you're out in LA doing your thing and I'm still a plumber? So I was like, okay, I'm going to LA to stay for 3 months and take some classes. And so I started taking classes. I started doing back and forth, and as everybody, I did auditions. I messed up auditions. I went for MTV, and I was killing it. And then I'm like in front of the audition, and I'm like no step, nothing. That was my first audition in LA.
Oh, no.
And so, you know, and then fast forward, I had the opportunity to stay, didn't get to stay, found another opportunity to stay as like with a visa, and then I get into a mess of life. And I was on the streets of LA. And then that got me while I'm on the street, and I'm like trying to manage things. Like there is always an answer. My computer wasn't working. And then I was like, I went on my knees and I prayed to God, like, what am I going to do? I don't have a dime. And the next day my mom was in town. You want to not believe in God?
Wow. So your mom just happened to be in town?
My mom just happened to be coming to LA to surprise me for my birthday, because it was a week before my birthday. And my boyfriend at the time, he knew that, and so he called me because I was like desperate. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't have money for rent. And I had a management situation that fell through in the last minute. That didn't happen, and so it just kind of put me in a very difficult situation. And I go on my knees, first and last time I did that, with my hands together. I was like, all right, I guess you got me now. You got me praying. And the next day, I'm like calling, like my boyfriend calls me and he's like, yeah, your mom is in town. She didn't want me to tell you, but I think that's important. So one thing pulled the other, got a little bit of help from her, and then got myself back on my feet, got my first job as a production manager. And here's my production manager to start. I got myself back on my feet, got my visa, and went to school, became graduated as valedictorian, and here I am. 10 years later, I always wanted to be like a Missy Elliott, like how do I become a producer? And then computers started coming in, you know, like now we can put software in and actually make music like this. And so it's like every day I wake up and I'm like, another day to make a better try. And the knees try to go out, and I'm like, fine, like, you can't break me. If God doesn't want you to break, you won't break.
Right. You're strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for everyone that is an atheist. It's like, God is good, okay? Sorry.
Well, you know, we could talk about that. I think it's for you. That's what that's what keeps you going, right?
Yeah.
And keeps you striving, and you have so many interests. I just love to hear all your stories. So your Tinseltown tale was being on your last, not knowing what you were going to do, and then your angel of a mom just happened to show up and pulled you through. And so, what does your mom do?
My mom is a superpower woman, and she lives in Brazil now, has her little business of decoration and wallpaper that she imports from everywhere, and she travels a lot, and she moved back to Brazil 7 years ago and opened up her business, has her little apartments that she rents out for tourists, and living life is making it
How
happen,
neat.
showing the world how
How
it's
neat.
done.
And you were born in, yeah, you were born in Brazil? Were you
No, I
born
was
in
born in
Brazil?
Italy. No, I was born
You
in
were born
Italy.
in Italy. All
Hmm
right, give me the map. Give me your map. You were born in Italy
I was born in Italy, and I grew up in
of a
Italy first.
Brazilian mom.
Yeah, my mom is
Okay.
black from Brazil,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I was born in Italy, and then when I was 8, we moved to Switzerland. So I grew up kind of Italy and Switzerland. Like the family is still in Italy, so it's just like mom and dad and me. We're in Switzerland,
Okay.
and as I said, about 10 years I started traveling back and forth. My parents moved to the south of Switzerland, and they got separated, and then my mom went back to Brazil, and I was here already. So, like, we're all spread out. We taken over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so now you're a American girl.
Almost, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. We gotta go
Yeah.
in a bit? Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. Well, so your work, what you do, sounds like a lot of fun. I think that people will just go, "Wow, she gets to dance and sing and create and do all this fun technical, mixing." But what do you actually do for fun? When you just want to kick back or just go out, what is it that you like to do?
I realized that I do so much that by like when it comes down to like a real hobby by now, because like I made my hobbies my job, you know?
Right.
Somehow. Like it's
Do
not
what you
really my
love.
job, but it's like I do what I love and I try to market that. So it's not that easy. It's like I get to do it because I want to do it and I work so hard to do it. And so at the end of the day, when I really get to sit back and I drop everything, I just want to watch a TV show like Once Upon a Time or Dragon Ball Z.
Tell me. Oh, really?
And I just like I said I like to watch movies or just like I've been telling myself to go to where more plays. Living in LA, we have like so many plays.
Yeah.
And they're cheaper than going to the movies. We are in a screening town. You can go for free to go to the movies. So I go to screenings, and then I try to, when I spend money, I try to do something more like, go and watch a play, do something live, like open mics and spoken words. And,
Awesome. Oh, you
yeah,
gotta
and
let me
just,
know. I like to do spoken word. I like to do poetry.
oh, we gotta go.
Fun.
We gotta go together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
and I cook.
Um,
I like to cook.
oh,
I cook for all my friends.
Oh, really? What do you like to cook? What do you make?
Well, I like to make anything with a little special something, and I like to make something out of nothing. So it's like I just open the fridge and I'm like, I ain't got nothing, and then I come out and I have all this food.
Awesome.
So yeah, today I made like some steaks in bread and like some plantains with like sweet plantains and stuff like that. Yeah, I just like to.
If
I
it's
just
there,
like
you
I
cook
make
it.
crepes. I make crepes and chocolate cakes and just
Oh,
old school Italian. Like
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, you like to watch TV. So, I think what you told me was that you like to dissect it. What did you mean by that? When you watch something, are you analytical?
Well, the problem is that I do so much in the industry, Like I act, and then I make music, and then I do sound, and then I do post-production. Like I put the effects in it. I do the voiceover. So I know how everything sounds and is supposed to sound like. You walk on the street and you listen to the sounds, the noises of the birds and this and that. And then suddenly you realize, like, but wait, like, isn't it winter in that shot? Like, why do I hear grasshoppers? And, and, like suddenly you hear, like, they're outside, but it sounds like they're inside in a room. It's like, oh, that was ADR, like, as in, like, they went and re-recorded it later. And then, like, I just basically overanalyze like how the sound is done and how the music is done. And here is like, I can't watch a horror movie anymore without actually analyzing the sound. And then it's the sound that carries the horror movie. But by now I could totally remake a horror movie, and it's like, here is this, this is that. This is what's going to happen. And when the violins come in, there's nothing going to happen. And then 30 seconds later, you're going to have the boo effect.
Yeah, that suspense doesn't work on you, huh? There's going to be what's going
No, because I'm already expecting it. So that's what happens. And then you watch the acting, and then it's like, are they good actors? Is this crying real? Is this like, what are they thinking about while they're acting? Yeah.
So is it hard to enjoy it, or is that part of the process that you enjoy? You think?
I enjoy it, but it's a different type of enjoyment than when I was younger and would watch a show. And that's why I still love animation, and especially now living with a girl that does animation, and I see how much work there is in a cartoon. It's like I became a kid again, and I'm like reading comic books.
Woo, look at that. Captain America, good one. Good one.
Watch man.
Oh my gosh, look at you. That's so cool. Now that was something I did not know about you, was that you're into the animation and comics. So that's kind of cool. So tell me I'm going to change gears just a little bit. Tell me what your favorite Hollywood hotspot is. Where do you recommend going to where would I see you if I wanted to find Venus Leone out on the town?
Well, I don't really like to go to Hollywood because Hollywood is like, okay, So I've done the supper club and all the big, like the clubs where you have, you have the red carpet and stuff, go with the friends, be entourage and everything. But to me, as I mentioned, fun is like things like play, go dancing. So I would suggest to anyone that is coming to Hollywood and wants to experience some Hollywood and Florida at the same time, to go to El Floridita. I think it's called El Floridita. It's on, what was it, La Brea, I believe. And it's a Cuban restaurant, and you have to RSVP, and make sure you RSVP per phone, because I RSVP'd online and almost didn't get a table. But you get to eat great food, and you get to dance salsa. And if your man doesn't dance salsa, you will be tossed around. So do not eat what I ate. Do not eat the filet mignon. Because if you have it, oh my God. I mean, it was delicious. The food is delicious. Yeah. It's definitely 5-star. But I got tossed around so much that I came home like I was drunk. Like I was very nauseous, and I ran to the bathroom.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about that part.
Yeah. But so I'm saying you don't want to eat too much when you go to the Cuban salsa place, because you're gonna dance. They have live music. You're gonna want to dance. You're gonna want to, and there is Cubans in there. They're gonna toss you around. That's definitely a spot you want to go. Yeah, there's Cubans in there. Like, if you're a girl and you don't want to, like, if you're a girl and your man is not making you dance, do not go with a man that is jealous. because you will
Uh-oh.
be in trouble.
And it caused some problems. There's
You will be
drama
in
at
trouble.
Law
Your
Florida.
hand is being grabbed like, you want to dance? You want to dance? You want to dance? Wait, let's dance.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a fun time. I'm going to look that up and link up with that. So, where can we reach you? Where can we find you online? Or, you've got your Twitter and what else?
I got everything that is important, like Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and my website is www.venusleone.com. And with that Venus Leone, you can find me. You put the @ in front of it, and it's at Venus Leone on Twitter, on Instagram, on Tumblr. Even on Facebook, even though on Facebook my fan page is I Prophecy, as the I, like my eyes, EYE, Prophecy. That would be my fan page to look at, where if you just want to keep
I'll
up
have to
with
check
the
that
artists.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then also SoundCloud, Venus Leone, everything Venus Leone, iTunes.
Venus Leone.
Download my music.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely link up to that too, and we're gonna keep our eye on you, Venus Leone. And thank you so much for joining me. You can find me at Ms. Meliz or at 10 Minutes. Oh, there's your eyes. Okay. Take a quick selfie. So smile.
Oh yes. Yes,
Oh,
I love it.
You look so cute.